management of solid and plastic waste in Burkina is becoming more and more of a concern both at the collective level and at the level of state actors. Most of this waste constitutes a public health problem and considerably degrades the environment. In order to find adequate and sustainable solutions for the management of this waste, a national strategy on the management of plastic waste during the year 2023 to 2027 and its action plan during the year 2023 to 2025 was drawn up by the Ministry of the Environment, Water and Sanitation. Hence, the importance of this workshop, which aims to allow participants to examine and analyze the different axes of this national plastic waste management strategy. Our cities, our villages are flooded by what is called plastic waste, which really constitutes grounds for concern in terms of public health and in terms of the environment. So, with the support of the United Nations institutions, Burkina has benefited from funding to develop strategy to face this challenge of plastic peril. So, for us, it is already an approach that will go in the direction of taking initiative to solve this question of plastic pollution. This national strategy for the management of plastic waste and its action plan resolves around three main axes. The first one, the prevention of plastic pollution. The second one, the recovery of plastic waste. And thirdly, the governance of the ecological management of plastic waste. It will therefore be a question for these various actors from public structures, civil structures, and the private sector to work to amend and validate this national strategy. When the document was produced internally, there was already a technical monitoring committee which therefore tried to validate the provisional document. This validation must therefore follow the remainder of the process, which will consist in having said document validated by all the stakeholders, because if all the stakeholders agree, I think that we could have a very good strategy and we could therefore provide appropriate responses to the management of the risk plastic. The National Plastic Waste Management Strategy and its action plan have been implementing thanks to funding from the Small Grant Program of the Global Environment Facility GFSGP. The UN organization says it is always available to support the Burkinabe government in its approach to guaranteeing living conditions for all populations and that of protecting the environment. The United Nations Programme United for Development, in its overall mission to support states in the process of low carbon development, has the mission to support countries in their priority. And one of the priorities for the new national in Burkina Faso is to ensure that the country can sustainably manage its plastic waste. Following this, the United Nations Programme could only respond through the Small Grants Program of the Global Environment Facility, GFSGP, to support the country in its process of developing its national plastic waste management strategy and action plan. The action plan that will actually come out of this validation process has an enormous cost, and it will certainly be necessary to mobilize both internal and international resources, and in this way the United Nations program in its support process for the government and the national party to achieve its objectives in terms of sustainable management of the environment remain available to support the national party in the mobilization of these resources in order to be able to implement its action plan management of plastic waste, and its action plan should contribute to clean up the environment and improving the socio-economic conditions of population through the prevention and ecological management of plastic waste. The overall cost of implementing this national plastic waste management strategy and its action plan is around 20 billions 761 millions 778,000 francs CFA.